Good morning, everybody. That was a really quick salute there. How you doing, Sam? United People's TV here with another morning news live show. Going to run through the latest United news, funnily enough. We're going to speak about the under-21s winning last night, 3-2. Carrick watching on. We're going to speak about... Look, we might have a bit of fun this morning, I'll be totally honest. I want to speak about City cracking up, Guardiola cracking up. I want to speak about Rooney's comments to Walcott about the 08 United team and how they would batter Arsenal right now, and they bloody would. We'll also run through anything that's being said in the build-up to the United game. We'll speak about Mazraoui's return. We'll speak about some other stuff. And as always, you can let me know what you want to talk about in the chat. So get involved, fire in your comments. I'll try and react to as many of them as I possibly can throughout the show. How are you all doing today? Who's getting up to what? It is miserable out there today. It is moist in the UK. We've got I'm Tired by December watching from Lisbon, though. My best mate lives in Lisbon. Dan, you definitely know watching, but morning to you. Let's say hello to everybody, mods and members, and get on with today's show. We've got Steph, we've got Carl, we've got we've got Alex. Good morning to all three of you. Some members too. We've got Teresa, we've got Simon, we've got Steve, Monkton John, we've got Chris Dyke, and we've got Darius, and some non-members too. We've got Mike, we've got Brendan Raider, we've got Sam, we've got Lou Hoper. Lots of you tuning in. Hope you're all doing well. Should we get on with today's show? Who's looking forward to Arsenal on Sunday? I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervous in equal measure, but I was nervous about the City game on Saturday, and that worked out quite well. Fingers crossed I go 2 for 2 in the same week. Now, just a couple of things I want to speak about around United. Thought this was an interesting one. Villa maybe weighing in on the Mateta situation. We spoke about that yesterday. It was Juve, I think, that were putting in a bid for him already, and now they're going to come back with another one. I mean, let's be honest. Mateta would be a pretty good signing for most Premier League teams, wouldn't he? Do you not think that? I don't think it would be appropriate for United to go in and spend that much money. It's not even that much money. I just don't think it's the right place for United to be looking. In the summer, would have been a conversation. Was a conversation. Was on the list of many United fans, but not now. I just think for somebody, whether that's Villa, probably Spurs could even do with him. I think it'd be a good signing for someone in the Prem. Separate to that, do you see this? Boubacar Kamara is expected to miss the rest of the season for Villa. It's an interesting one. Really, really vital player for Villa. Not sure they're going to properly cope without him. And they're not having a bit of a wobble. What was it that Unai Emery said? Was it after the Everton game? He said that Villa aren't top 5 competitors. I can't remember what he said. It was just a bit of a weird interview. It'd be nice if Aston Villa cracked up. A bit like... Speaking of cracking up... Mate, City haven't just lost twice this week. City have been absolutely bullied on the pitch. Beaten 3-1 away to Bodo Glimt. Rodri gets sent off 4 days after they got absolutely tormented at Old Trafford. No one likes to see it, apart from everybody. So what's that in the league now? Is that 4 games without a win, I think, in the league? Because there were 3 draws going into the game at Old Trafford. Then we spanked them. And now they've got spanked by Bodo Glimt. And I think they're going to have to win their last game against Galatasaray to be sure of an automatic spot in the champs. Oh, it's a shame. Yeah, it couldn't happen to a nicer team. Couldn't happen to a nicer man. You know what Pep needs? And I kind of feel sorry for him in this respect. Like, he just needs another 100 mil. That's all he needs. Yeah, man, Carrick did some damage, didn't he? You know, Pep, you should just roll that spit on your tongue all the way into the Championship. Bit random, this. Well, not really random, because we're speaking about City. Has anything been said about those charges? Talk about being brushed under the carpet. I thought there was supposed to be some sort of update news on it. Like a month ago, 2 months ago? I don't even know. But yeah, all he needs is another 100 mil, man. It's not often that we, as United fans, have space to laugh at others. Because for so long recently, we have been the place to point and laugh. So I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to apologise for it. I've already said this to you before. When United are good again, I'm going to be insufferable, man. I'm going to rub it in the face of everybody, shamelessly. It will come back to haunt me, but I really don't care because of what I've had to deal with in these last few years. Who are they playing this weekend? Wolves? They're playing Wolves? What are the Prem games this weekend? Let's have a quick look. I don't actually know. Matches. Match week 23. Okay, let's have a look. West Ham at home, Sunderland. Who's City got? At home to Wolves. Boo. If it was away to Wolves, maybe. They should be beating them. Spurs away to Burnley. Well, that's a loss for Spurs. Shame. Newcastle playing Villa. Nice. It's going to be a tasty game on Sunday. Tasty game. Anyway, let's run through the news. I want to speak about the under-21s to begin with. Under-21s playing last night. You can see the starting 11 there. Diego Leon involved. Both the Fletcher twins. Bianchetti starting ahead of Obi. Which I think is quite interesting because that's happened quite a few times this season. Fredrickson back down there. We spoke about him yesterday. So looks like United might be loaning him out. And I don't think that'll be a terrible move. And James Scanlon, who came up trumps because United under-21s, they won 3-2 last night, and James Scanlon scored a hat-trick in front of an on-watching Michael Carrick. And Steve Holland there in the background. And Steve Holland's girlfriend. I don't actually know who that is. But they won 3-2, and it's good to see Carrick at the first knock-in down at Leeds. Is it Leeds Sports Village? I think it was. Watching the under-21s. Now, of course, Carrick is somebody who has a very personal affiliation with United's academy. He's been in and around the club. He may not have been part of Manchester United directly because he was at Middlesbrough, but he was always coming for his son, who made his under-18s debut this year, JC. But it's good to see Carrick, I suppose, following up straight away on his comments about the importance of United's academy and the fabric of the club. And I suppose in contrast to what we saw from Ruben Amorim. Amorim did watch some United games, some academy games, but I'm pretty sure they were the ones at Carrington. Don't know whether that was the under-18s, under-16s. I'm not sure he actually went to Leeds Sports Village. But it's good to see Carrick there. And the amount of times that I've spoken about James Scanlon on here, I find it really odd that he's still playing for United's under-21s. Like, I know it might be insignificant in comparison to other nations, but he is playing international football with Gibraltar. And he's developed a lot in that sense over the last 18 months or so. I don't know how long he's been there, but he was banging in goals for the under-21s last season. Scored a hat-trick again there. I don't know why he's still at the club. And more to the point, I don't know why he hasn't really been at any point in and around the first team potentially getting an opportunity. Found it strange. Anyway, a couple of other players last night. Chidowobi coming off the bench. Bianchetti as well starting. But yeah, just good to see Michael Carrick down there supporting the academy teams and keeping an eye on the place. But yeah, the Scanlon one, really, really strange. Right. Who wants to have some fun? Hands in the air. Yeah, me. Good. And you. Did you see this last night? Basically, it was Theo Walcott and Wayne Rooney were pitch side after the Arsenal game against Inter. We'll speak about that a little bit later. We'll start to have a conversation about the build-up to the Arsenal game. I don't know what possessed Theo Walcott to actually ask the question, or maybe he's just kind of doing his job and keeping conversation going. But he asked Rooney whether or not he thought that the 2008 United team could compete with this Arsenal team. And Rooney was just deadpan to him. He's like we batter them. It wouldn't even be close. And it really, really wouldn't, right? We go down there. Let's have a little zoom in on the teams. That's a good Arsenal team. Really good Arsenal team. Look, we're going to find out on Sunday. Defensively, extremely resolute. Very, very difficult to break down. Going forward, they have their moments. And they have been... Am I going to use the word robotic? I think robotic's a bit unfair. But they have been pretty relentless all season. That's now 7 from 7. Or 7 from 7, 8 from 8. They're undefeated in the Champions League. Only team to remain so. But imagine going bar for bar with these two teams. Havertz, Rice, Saliba. Oh, this is a bit of an old one. Don't know, that's a bit of an old photo. Anyway. You know what made me laugh is the fact that Rooney didn't even hold back. He was like, oh, yeah, we compete against them, but, we probably, no, mate, we battered them. That team would absolutely batter them. And it wouldn't even be close. I see a certain Michael Carrick sitting there. Hello, mate. Arsenal's 2018 would batter the team. I love Rooney. Look at that, man. Makes you want to go back and watch that. I mean, to be fair, that was quite an uncomfortable final to watch. It's a nervous final to watch. Man, I remember that. That was back when I was working at a call centre. What was I doing? What job did you have in 2008? Put it in the chat. Yeah, I was working at a call centre. I think I was cold calling, selling medical insurance. Yeah. I remember I left school, and then I had a year, and I worked in a call centre. And I was going to Thailand with my mate for a month. My dad was like, what are you going to do when you come back? And I was like, probably work in a call centre again. He was like, you should probably apply to uni. So I did. My sister handled it all, and I went to do history at uni. Fun fact. And then when I finished uni, I was back in a call centre. Everyone's always got that. Someone was in primary school. Tech told me you're a uni student. Baker and Asda. Analyst for the police. Watch out, people. Watch out, people. Theatre nurse, someone down there. Few of you were at school. Someone was in Italy. Kevy, you were a chef. Very nice. I was eating crayons in nursery. Either way. Bloody, what's a team? And it's just funny to hear that from Rooney. Because he's absolutely spot on, by the way. They battered them. I wish I got the chance to chat to Rooney. I hope I get the chance to chat to Rooney at some point. I've said on here many a time, he's a player who I got it wrong with when he sort of fell out with Fergie, didn't sign that contract. I thought that he was a dick. I completely sided with Fergie. And then as time went on, I sort of realised, no, actually, I think I was a little bit wrong on that one. And how I looked at Rooney towards those last few years of his career was unfair. Did a video on that. Anyway, what man? He's absolutely bob on. They will get battered. Right, should we move on? That was a bit of fun. Someone down there, 3 Lamb Park, great username, by the way. Secondly, the quiz is going to be here every Friday. The quizzes, now we did those every single day in December, and you all loved them. I loved them too. They were great fun. But we're going to be doing them once a week on a Friday on here, and maybe we'll do a few more in Discord. That's up to Alex, that's up to Maddie, if they want to run more in Discord. But from here, for the live shows, we're going to be keeping those to Fridays only. Mikey, you work Glastonbury there. I've not been Glastonbury yet. Quite sad, really. Just haven't. Shibbity-bip. Right. Let's move on. I get the feeling that today might be a little bit of a quick show. There's not too much for me to update you on. So I'll run through it. I won't run through it, but I'll get through it. And if you want to talk about anything else, you can fire in your comments. All right. But I did my video on Kobbie yesterday. I really enjoyed doing that video. You know what I might do today? I might do a video on Patrick Dorgu. because it's been, I mean, it can't actually be too far off exactly a year. Man United signed Dorgu. Yeah, well, not far off. Just shy. We signed Dorgu on the 2nd of Feb. So was that a deadline day signing? I think it was. So it's coming up to the sort of 1 year, not anniversary, but I suppose it is. It's coming up to 1 year at United for Dorgu. And I think the reason I enjoyed doing that video yesterday on Mainoo was because of everything that's happened with him so far. It's been a tough season, and Carrick has come in, and I thought this was class. It's come from Chris Wheeler and Nathan Salt in the Daily Mail. So one of the first things that Carrick did when he came in was to take Kobbie aside and make sure he realised how important he was to him, for United, for the rest of this season. Followed up on that by starting him against City and giving him the full 90. And I fully expect that we see Kobbie start again in midfield alongside Casemiro against Arsenal. Truth be told, why on earth would Carrick change anything from that team that faced City, apart from maybe if Mazraoui's available? I'm going to speak about Mazraoui a little bit later. But yeah, I just enjoyed doing that video yesterday. And I think, you know what? I think Dorgu deserves this video. I've defended him a fair few times on here. I've spoken about the thing that I didn't think that I'd seen enough of from Dorgu in his first season was development. I thought if you looked at how Dorgu was when he came in, and I remember it, his first 2-3 games came, boom, and then got the red card. Can't remember who that was against. Was banned for 3 games and came back after that. And he was very slow in getting back in. He's taken his time, but in this last month, and in a variety of positions as well, by the way, right wing, left wing back, right wing back, left. He's been really good. Kind of turning into a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. Maybe not incredible at any one position, but actually quite capable in many. So yeah, I think he deserves some praise for that development that I've now seen in this last month that I hadn't seen before. Just like I'll always do in this channel. Like, I will criticise a player who fairly deserves to be criticised from what I'm seeing from him on the pitch. But if they deserve praise, which I think Dorgu does, then I'll give it to them. Let me see what he's saying down here. Robbie's saying it was a good signing at the price. Look, the thing about signing Dorgu, and the thing about these sorts of signings, if it works out, 25 mil, nice. We've got a really good player for 25 mil. If it doesn't work out, you will be able to sell him probably for equal, if not more, maybe than what you bought him for. These are sustainable signings. Now, they're not all going to work out in the same way that an Abumo will work out, but that's because you spend 70 odd mil for a player who's established in 26 in the Premier League. Different level of signing, different expectations, and different, like, realistic expectations. But Dorgu, yeah, I'm just going to have a chat about him. Maybe see what he's saying down here. He's got a lot of potential, someone says. I like him. If you see Dorgu's goal against Scotland, has an attacker's instinct, says that. It's something I think has become abundantly clear in this last month. Maybe not even just this last month, but I suppose more apparent. Dorgu is certainly more comfortable in the opposition's half than he is in his own half. It's not to say that he can't defend, but I think he has to think about defending. It's not subconscious with him, like positioning. He's got, I've got to be there. And he can actually get there because he's got a great athletic profile. But he seems a lot more natural going forward. That's the way I look at it. Jay said, I've been critical of him when he's on the ball at wing-back, but since moving into a forward-back, he's been good. Not even just that. Make a video about Delo. It still blows my mind how incredible Delo is at getting into the right position and his conversion rate from that position. Jay saying, trying to get the Danish army knife going as Dorgu's nickname. Thoughts on that? Switzerland might have something to say to you. It could just be a Swiss army knife. That doesn't be Danish. Richard saying, would you have Dorgu at right wing or left wing? I think what might change that is whether or not Šeško's on the pitch. Because I want Šeško to get deliveries. I want United to be able to think that they can send first-time balls in. You know, like, it just happens so often in the game these days. It's kind of part of the game. When a fullback, when a winger gets towards putting a cross in, they'll rarely put that in first time. They'll rarely put an early cross in. It's not really part of how the game is anymore. It's always like turn back, edge of the box, and then maybe look for an overlapping run with a through ball. You don't really see whipped crosses. Dorgu's cross for Šeško against Burnley, fantastic, early. And Šeško is the sort of striker that will get on the end of a lot of them if you send more in. Because he's an athletic freak, 6'5". He's bloody rapid. He's got a massive reach on him and huge legs. And a massive head. His head's not that massive, but his leap is. So yeah, I think left or right wing kind of depends on the game state, I think. But he can play both. Mr. Smith, Delo's got the instinct and anticipation of Haaland and a touch of a sloth. Gavin saying, thoughts on the Beckham saga? It's a bit bad. Don't look good. It doesn't look good, Brev. Stepping out of that. He's going to watch that one unfold. But something's going on. Someone down there saying we won't have space at the Emirates like we did against City. Hence, we need a lot more of the ball. Do I agree with that? We'll speak about the Arsenal game in a little bit, and you can fire in your comments. But yeah, I think it feels like a video on Dorgu today would be a good conversation for us to have, and a timely one. As I said, it's going to be about a year, just under a year since we signed him. So we can have like a full summary of his year so far, and the development that I think we've already seen this last month. So it's a bit of praise. If someone who doesn't know what's going on with Beckham, just Google it. Brooklyn Beckham, David Beckham, have a read. All right. Sekou Kone. We spoke about him yesterday. Quite a few of you are asking what's actually going on with him. So this is coming from Nathan Salt from the Daily Mail. So he's still training with Lausanne Sport. So he's been out with, is that in Switzerland? I think he is. He's been out training with them, and conversations suggested that he was going out on loan there. Any decisions over a possible loan, unlikely to be made to the end of the month. Don't really know why. But he could be going out on loan. Just the same way that Diego Leon, I think, was linked with a loan move to Nice. But seeing as Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are trying to sell Nice right now, does that change that? I'm not quite sure, if I'm being honest. But Sekou Kone could be going on loan for the second half of this season. Now, this lad here, as I said, I'm just kind of going to run through the news here today because I don't think there's anything that really deserves a big focus and attention apart from the Arsenal game towards the end. That's what I'm looking forward. I'm not going to be doing a poll on the Beckhams. This lad here, do you know who he is? No, me neither. Anyway, this is just United. This is again come from the Daily Mail, come from Chris Wheeler and Nathan Salt. I'm monitoring Belinho. Just a 17-year-old lad. Eligible for Croatia and Brazil. That's a hell of a combo. But this is just United, and more to the point, Chris Favell doing more of that sort of scouting that we spoke about yesterday. Christian Orozco joining the club in June. Diego Leon joined the club last summer. Sekou Kone joined from Mali. Who was it? Gidars FC? I think it was. Is it those three signings who have been like that? United will continue to make more of them. And one of these signings, at some point, we're going to find a gem. I'm so excited for when that point comes. I hope it's Christian Orozco. Right? Really hope it's Christian Orozco. But anyway, this lad here. Someone down there saying, why he's wearing a Dinamo Zagreb kit. I'm going to presume that he plays for Dinamo Zagreb. Considering he's eligible to play for Croatia and Brazil. I don't know. In terms of Kanabiek, he went on loan to Lausanne Sport, didn't he? I think he did. Was it Lausanne Sport he went to? I think it was. That was a lad that we signed on free from Le Havre. I think that was United taking advantage of a market opportunity and hoping that one worked out. But that was... I don't mean this to be unfair for the lad. But I think it's because he was on a free. Right? Don't know. What else is he saying down there? Right, let's move on. And this is what I want to have a conversation about for the last 10 minutes. What's all your feelings about the game on Sunday currently? Bao, you're asking for an update on Diego Leon. What's his position at the club? He's playing at left back. And that's just what he's doing. I think I did a video update on Diego Leon maybe 2 months ago. We can probably do another one, let's say in another couple of months, because it could well be that in the next 10 days, we're talking about him going on loan. And if he goes on loan, I'll then be able to bring you an update on that in a few months' time and how he's actually played. A couple of you this morning I saw asking me for an update on, a video on what's happening with Radek Vitek. He made an absolute ridiculous save last night for Bristol City in the Championship. I think against Ipswich. If you haven't checked it out, go and have a look. It's probably on Twitter or something. It is a ridiculous... It's one of those saves that you know when you go down for a save and the keeper's on the floor and you think there's absolutely no chance that he gets up quick enough to make another save. He just gets up in a split second and just dives and gets his hand. Should have gone in. What are you expecting from Sunday then, peeps? Darren, look, I'm going to agree with you straight away there. I'd take a point. I don't mean that in a defeatist way, but I really would take a point. Is that? I suppose it does sound defeatist like that. And if you had asked United fans the expectations of the Arsenal game before the City game, I think they would have been largely different to what they are after the City game, and that's how big a win that felt like. But yeah, if you're Michael Carrick, honestly, why would you change a thing from the starting 11? Apart from whether or not this lad's available. Obviously, Morocco lost. Mazraoui played. Was it extra time he came off? I think it was. I don't know how many minutes he actually played in the whole tournament, but he certainly played a fair amount. He's obviously going to be devastated at what happened with Brahim Diaz and Morocco losing the final. Been given a little bit of time off. I don't know whether United will start Mazraoui. It may well be that he comes off the bench, maybe. But I'd kind of be surprised if Mazraoui came back from AFCON and went straight back into that starting 11. I'll be honest on that one. But let me go back and just speak about the game here. Let me see what you're saying. Arsenal on a good run, says Dave. Point away would be great, but please let's beat them. When was the last time that we beat Arsenal in the league at the Emirates? I actually don't know the answer to that question. Obviously, we beat them in the FA Cup. Oh, I just remember the bloody offside with Ten Hag and was it Garnacho? That pissed me off so much. Was that a sliding doors moment? When was it? Someone let me know. You know, you watch so much football and you think you've got so much knowledge, but then when you get put on the spot to try and remember a game that wasn't even that long ago sometimes, you're like, can't remember. Let me see what you're saying. Bip. I expect a strong showing, says Andrew. When you play league leaders, it's not a great shame to lose, but how matters. Carrick beat Arteta before, so a win for me. Easy. We'll play well and dominate the game, but Arsenal will still get some silly goal and lose. Isn't that what happened last time? When did we do that? When we actually outplayed them and they just didn't have anything, and then they got, was it 2 set-piece goals? I think so. No, I'm not talking about you beating them at Old Trafford. I'm saying, when was the last time we bloody won at the Emirates? Did you have a look? I've got to find that out. That's fine. I don't actually know. Man United versus Arsenal record. That one? There you go. Right. Go away. Go away. Home. So we won there on penalties. That was the FA Cup. They won there. That's them at home in the league. 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 Bloody hell. That's them at home in the league. Jeez. How long ago is it? Mate, he's only there. I'll go away, Avert, man. Jesus. Is that the last time we won there in the league? My word. Rory saying you need an ad blocker. I think it'd be massively ironic if I was to do if I was to use an ad blocker, given that the ads that YouTube show is a big part of how United People's TV can exist. So I don't do that. I think it would be ridiculous. Was that Lingard dance? Who scored? Lingard 3-1. Yeah, that is Lingard dance. I've got a photo of that up here. Bloody hell, I did not know it was that long ago. Mate. I like that, Marks. It's similar to our record at Anfield. So 8 years since we won at the Emirates in the league. And it was 10 years since we won in the league at Anfield. Was it 10 years? I think it was 10 years. Oh, yeah, I remember Dahir in that game. So, yeah, I'd love to win on Sunday. But I'm taking a draw now. I didn't actually realise it was that long ago. Bloody hell. But yeah, last night, Arsenal, let's be honest, it was quite an impressive win, really. League leaders in Serie A, 1-3-1 at the San Siro. I think that's 7 wins from... Is it 7 from 7? Either way, they're undefeated. I don't know whether they drew anything in the Champions League. But they're on a very good run. And at the exact same time as that, like, City really are cracking up. We're going up. Go away. This feels like Arsenal's year. Liverpool doing what they're doing. City, everybody else doing what they're doing. But let's see if United can throw a spanner in the works. What's everyone's prediction for Sunday, by the way? Get it in the chat. Yeah, Alex, I agree with you there. I think if United get a result here, Senny Lamond is probably going to have to be maybe not man of the match, but he's going to have a cracking game. Really cracking game. Now that 2-0 win against City, incredible. I don't think Senny had to really do much. I think United were and that's what I mean. I don't know why we wouldn't do the same thing against Arsenal. It's going to be trickier, I'll be honest, if we try to sit in the same sort of narrow shape that we did sit. But we've got the players to punish them, man. How high line do Arsenal play with this season? I don't actually know. Let me go down and read some of your predictions. Paul and John, you're both going for a 2-2. Alex and another John, you're going for a 1-1. Philip, you're going for a 2-2. 2-1 United, says Leon. Marks and Ronan, you're both going 1-0. And you're going for a 2-1 United win. 4-1 Arsenal. 3-1 United. I got no idea. Let's see what you're saying down here. I'll save my prediction for the Start 11 video on Friday, as I always do. But I think I might predict the exact same Start 11. If I'm honest. I'll ask you this, actually. Do you think the Šeško starts? Because there were quite a few big calls in that Start 11 from Carrick against City. Cunha didn't start, and neither did Šeško. And he ended up playing a 4-4-2 out of possession with 2 false 9s in Mbeumo and Bruno. And it really bloody worked. They've had a full week to work on the training ground. Set piece FC versus set piece FC. Well, our set piece coach has bloody left. Man. I'm going back to that again. I did not realise it had been that long. That long since we won at the Emirates. Big game coming up. Siraj, do you think that Cunha will start? Philip, you think he's going to stick with the same 11? Rerun, you're saying that you think Cunha starts as well. Sam, what I do for a double against Liverpool this season? It's been a good while. And you're saying they struggled to break us down at the beginning of the season. We were brand new then. That Arsenal game, man. That pissed me off so much, that Arsenal game at the start of the season. I could have and should have, but we were so unclinical in that game. It was frightening, really. And that happened way too often under Ruben Amorim. That wasn't necessarily his fault. It was just the finishes. We couldn't finish our dinner. Couldn't hit a barn door. Can't remember what their goal was. Oh, I can. It was bloody by India. And it was a flap attack at a corner. Ugh. Wasn't it that? And then the next game we played Fulham. And he was also Flap City as well. Bloody hell. And then after that, I think we played Sorry, nearly said Grimsby there. Just threw up in my mouth. Was it Grimsby after that? I think it was. Was it 2 corners? Ugh. Stanky. Anyway, something that bodes well, I would say. Well, not bodes well. It doesn't really mean anything, but I'm taking it as bodes well. We're going to be wearing our black kit on Sunday, which means we're seeing a repeat of that bad boy. United, if you score, please, somebody slide into someone's DMs, say, look, please do the Millie Rock. Please do that celebration again. Do you have any idea how much that will boil the piss of Arsenal fans? I suppose only if you win. Yeah, fair enough. Did Lingard do that after the first goal he scored or the second? That I can't remember. Anyway, let's see you on Sunday. I hope we're dancing again. Last couple minutes of the show. Fire any questions you might have. Anything you don't think I've spoken about enough, or you want me to, or you just want to ask me, really. Ask me anything if you want. Last 5 minutes of the show. Because it's a little bit shorter, today's show. And the building's half done. 10 points for guessing this, by the way. What do you think the name of my builder is who's doing the work in the loft? See who gets it first. And this will make you laugh. Someone down there. Anonymous Spot, how you doing, buddy? Been a while since I tuned into live shows. Bigger picture, I have less belief to any new manager succeeding after the latest sacking with the current owners here. I know you're not alone in that one, mate. It's kind of a... I'm just going to try and enjoy these next 15, 16 games and see what happens with Carrick. And Daz, you got it first. His name's Brent. It made me laugh. It really made me laugh. He's a good lad, though. He's doing some good work. You should see the state of the bloody loft. Well, I bought like a converted bungalow. And the roof that they put on, clearly I think the bloke who we bought it from ended up doing a lot of the work himself because the insulation was absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. His name is not Loft. Fergie's not losing the Christmas hat because I can't bother to take it off because I'll rip his head off. I think I might be moving Fergie out. Going to give him a little bit of a rest. As I said, I'm going to be reworking this. I'm working with Maddie and Alex. We'll get that done today, please, guys. I want to get a few things ordered just to liven up. Not liven up. Neaten up. I think it looks good, but it looks a bit messy. I want it to be a little bit neater. It's not Bob the Builder. That wouldn't have been as funny. That would have been a really crap joke. Right. Shall we wrap up for today? Rory saying, will you post World Cup and England content during that period or strictly United? Rory, what I always try and do, we'll always have the live shows here, standard. So maybe we'll have a little run through of what happened in the World Cup the day before. But I will always try and look at the World Cup and from a United lens. For example, England play, I'll have a conversation about Elliot Anderson's performance or Kobbie Mainoo's performance. I'll speak about players that we're linked with and how they're getting on in different games. I won't ever just cover the World Cup from an England perspective. I'll always focus on United. Derek saying, what's the newest addition to the studio? We're going to be getting two main things from over here. You can't see, there's so many down here as well that sit behind me that no one sees. I've got so many replica shirts. I want to put them in a little presentation box. You know the ones where you fold them up and then you can see the name and you just you neatly tuck them one above the other. I want to get that, put that on the floor and probably replace that with a digital photo frame that will plug in and then give you members access to choose what photos go in it, and that will just rotate and roll through the show. I think that'd be quite nice. And maybe neaten, not that's Fergie, neaten this up as well. It's just a little bit messy. Who would you prefer to be the striker in the next match? A gut instinct is probably telling me don't change anything, Michael. That was so well executed against City in a very tough game. It will be just as tough. But maybe it might be a game against Arsenal where we have more pressure on us, that we actually do need an outlet in Šeško to actually hold the ball up. Because we were knocking it long against City. We have 4 up there. Maybe we're going to need Šeško. I don't know. I don't know exactly. But I'll run through it all. Now, ladies and gents, thank you all for... What's that down there? Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you, as always. If you are new to United People's TV, please do consider subscribing. I'm here every single Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. with a live show. And every lunchtime, between 12 and 2 p.m., you'll get a recorded video that goes out, which is a little bit more produced. Probably recording the latest episode of the podcast tonight. I apologise about the podcast. I'm really annoyed, if I'm being completely honest, that I've been so inconsistent with the pod. It's really frustrating me. I always like to do things to my absolute best, but we've just run into some teething problems. But I promise you we're going to try and keep making it bigger and better. Did it. Balls. That light bulb's run out. Thank you very much. I will get that sorted. I'll get them all on charge. Thank you very much. Peace out. A-Town.